Hey everyone, welcome to the Infernal Zoo 2024 list review for the 9th Age 3.0. Hey, let's give a round of applause, Everyone give me a clap. Yeah, golf clap. So, hey, if you're watching this video maybe at a later date and you don't quite know what the 9th Age is, maybe you're playing the old world, maybe you're playing one of the other many rank and flank games out there. The Old World is a fan-built rank and flank tabletop war game that we play, and I highly recommend you check the link in the description below. It'll take you to the official website where you can get all of these rules for free. Very nice. Also, the one bit of thing before we get started, you know, the usual stuff. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I would appreciate it. So, we're doing the list review today, and guess what? I have played a whopping 0 games of the 9th Age 3.0, so I have gone out and I have assembled the greatest panel of 9th Age players you could possibly find. The best of the best, the cream of the crop, the guys who said yes to doing this with me. I would like to introduce first, Henry, a good friend of the channel. You're back.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Played, I mean, between I think all of us, we've played like maybe 20 games. So yeah, more than pretty much anyone else in the world right now. So
probably true. Next up, new to the channel, I guess. Derek, have you been on the channel before?
I don't think so. I think this is a virginal Derek experience that everybody's getting right now live.
Touched for the very first time.
You always remember your first.
Derek, I'm happy you're here. I'm very excited.
I am too. Hi, everybody. Hello.
Sean, you've been on the channel before. Welcome back.
Thank you. I've been here a few times. I brought a good luck medallion for throwing axes. They'll come into play later.
A typical freaking Beastard player bringing throwing axes. Unbelievable. And lastly, the Infernal Zookeeper himself, Alex.
Thank you, Kenyon. Yeah, Derek is Trey Chic on the forum, on the no crew, always at the top of the standings. So I don't know how he does it. He wins a lot of games. So yeah, this is the 12th year for the zoo. We're actually doing Old World and 9th Age at the same time, just because Old World's brand new and we want to get the players together. It's a really kind of a hobby event. I like focus on monsters. I've got crazy terrain on the tables, all these awards. I've got like these crazy ass trophies. You get this one by killing as many monsters as possible. There's one for Old World and the 9th Age. 3D printed, all kinds of crazy stuff. Look at this thing, man. This guy, the guy in Netherlands. So this could be yours, guys. These guys are all players. They're going to be competing for these. That's the Hobby Master one. Usually Henry kind of gets that wrapped up with his hobby shenanigans. Damn it, Henry. So we're excited this year with the 3.0. It just changed. This is probably the first GT. We had a little mini one in my house, and since the rules have changed, since that happened a bit, but we're trying to get used to it. As usual, I've got the Foundry cranking out crazy stuff. I've got snake templates for moving. I've got dual tokens. I mean, it's just been a nonstop printer shenanigans at my place. And I'm excited about seeing all my friends and having our haiku competition and drinking a lot. And it's going to be a great time.
Tiki bar, Friday night.
Just a little bit about the change. I know it changes hard on a lot of people. And 3.0, like with Old World, really took a chunk out of the player base for 9th Age. I've been playing both games, actually, and I really enjoy the people I've met for Old World, and it's got so many people in the hobby. But I really like the 9th Age rules just because how clean they are, and I'm an engineer, just kind of appeals to me, the fairness of it. This new rule set is kind of controversial because it changed a lot of things, and I'm kind of really optimistic about it. I think it's a creative project, and people understand that you have to fail to be successful. And they've failed with a bunch of rules, and they've already corrected them. And I think it's really nice. The last update, I was kind of upset about some things they took out, but they just acknowledged that they didn't want to do certain things, and they took the right course. So it'll take a while for the rules to get stabilized. It's just the way this sort of game works. But I really enjoy playing a game where it's a live game system where the rules are alive and the armies are alive. People are paying attention and focusing on it to make sure it's improving at every step. And like I said, I'm optimistic about 3.0. I think in a world where I met a lot of older players, like some of my know would never like this game, some I think would. So I think people will just gravitate towards either one as long as they get exposure for all these types of games. It's kind of a cool experience. So that's my soapbox.
The ninth team is not afraid of failure, that's for sure.
You got to take risks.
So
That's
anyway,
the way it works.
You don't always have to take risks.
but anyway,
Henry the Sandy.
we digress. We digress. We are here to talk about lists. Lists, I tell you. You can see on the screen here, I have all of the pairings brought up, and they're all empty. So, Alex is going to
pretty low
click
zoo
the
turnout
button.
this year, guys. Pretty low.
Also, I was
Looking
told
good.
that TOs have to bring a bottle of alcohol when they do these, so we've got some rum cranking.
Oh yeah, what's
Oh,
everybody
boy.
drinking?
Okay.
Shout out to Ben Wilson, who comes to my house and brings me delicious beers every time. I'm drinking a Fruits and Cats smoothie sour ale. Highly recommend. What's everybody else drinking?
What?
Cranking.
A good time.
I am
Aw.
drinking a sour IPA also from
Okay, Kenyon gets points.
for Hudson Valley
Water.
Brewery over here called Silhouette. It's actually very good. It's got peaches in it.
We'll get a full-size Corona. I'll be right back.
Corona.
Henry is high on life. Straight edge tonight,
Just
Henry.
water, always.
Just water. Okay,
Hey.
so we're gonna do a live pairing. I've got new recruit up. I'm gonna push the button, and we're gonna see who's getting paired right as we push, and then Kenyon's gonna dial it up as we go through. I will have to do one thing. There's 22 players and 2 ringers because like Cary can't make Sunday, so and who knows who's gonna drop. So I have to unpair those, so you'll see that for a minute, and while I fix that for people who are looking at it. If not, but then and hopefully everything will work. The first time I did it, the way the zoo works, there's a team challenge, and that trophy I showed. One of them back there is the team trophy, which has the best day performance for a group. We've got big team in Sacramento, big in the Bay Area. So the first 2 rounds are club excluded. So those guys can't play each other. Other than that, it's all open game. So you guys ready?
Do it.
Ready?
Do it.
Okay. Here we go. Pushing the button right now. Boom!
Wow,
Uncomfortably.
that was like instantaneous on my end. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Game 1, Evan and Sean.
Okay, here we go. Game 1, Evan. Is Evan coming from Phoenix? Evan's in Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Phoenix players. All right, Evan. I'm excited to see Evan. And then, of course,
Dude.
Sean is playing his Beastards again. But no, let's jump
like to change
over
it up.
and see what Evan is running here. Evan is on Infernal Dwarves. He's got the Overlord General on a Bull of Shamut with the Great Weapon Touch of Greatness, and the Infernal Weapon Onyx Core, Ring of Desiccation, Vizier BSB on a Seat of Authority, a Conjurer on Pyromancy with 3 spells with the Mimic Cloak, the Lamasu Scholar, 35 Vassal Levies, 30 Infernal Warriors, 5 Turok Anointed, a Kadim Chariot, 5 Vassal Cavalry, a Rocket Battery, and a Rocket Battery on an Infernal Engine.
Nice. Well, I play ID quite a bit, so I think this is
Take it away, yeah.
pretty good Evan list. The Bull is something that Evan likes to use. I think it's pretty good. It's got movement restricted now. It's a big monster, so it can't just fly around like it used to.
Yeah.
You've got a angle.
Is that
use a
the
new.
greater bull or is that the mini bull?
That's the
Well,
lesser.
it's
The lesser.
the lesser one. Okay, so that one is
Big
light tricks
bull.
actually.
That one's fast. Yeah.
So it moves just like he used to. BSB, which a lot of people say are unnecessary. Other people like Henry. Conjurer. I like the Lamasu a lot now. Now you notice that the spells are on the units now. You have to pick your spells before the game, which is interesting and saves a little time. I think things go quite a bit faster when you get rolling here with this new game.
Mm-hmm.
Huge block of levies. Then they have I was gonna say battle focus, but it doesn't exist. They've got Fury with this banner, with as long as they're close to their infernal buddies. And then 30 Infernal Warriors with no blunderbuss. What's up with that? Great weapons. Doors
They've
are hard to
got great
move.
weapons.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. He doesn't
They
have a
gotta
lot of
pay
shooting
weapons up
for
fast.
a lot of them. The lists are a little smaller at 4,000 points than we're used to, so you have to kind of make your cuts.
It's a felony to bring a blunderbuss over the California-Arizona border.
Yeah. You might get arrested.
Newsom just signed.
And then the gunnery team rocket battery. So gunnery teams are better now because being deep is really important. If you have more ranks than them and you have at least 4 ranks or 3 ranks now, if you can get advantage, so you have +1 to wound. So the gunnery team will fit in one of those units, say probably the vassal levels, and they're going to make them deeper. So any kind of a war platform, I think, is a pretty good choice in 3.0.
Yeah.
And nothing misfires, which is cool. You don't have to worry about your shiny toy doing jack shit when it
That
doesn't.
was a bad feeling moment when you misfire and then it blows up or it kills itself. It was always a bad feeling moment. Yeah. Okay.
The cherry?
Sean, would you like to go over your list?
Yeah. All right, so my list is a very important theme to it. It's to show up away from everyone else's stuff and throw mean words at them while I drink beer. It's the main intent of it.
What a beast.
So to make up for the 500-point loss, I just kicked the mage out of the warband. We don't need him anymore. So we just have 2 doubles for everything: raiding chariots, Mongol raiders, longhorns, some centaurs with throwing weapons, which was a divine intervention. I had a realization the day before.
Sir.
It was Derek's divine
I
intervention.
called myself a god, but I'll take it. Sure.
Jeez.
And then Cyclops and Jabberwocks. I got monsters running around, got some things showing up at hopefully inconvenient places, and a couple chariots that will panic off the board.
Jabberwocks breathe, toxic bullshit all game long.
Poison breath
No longer
also.
just one attack.
Yeah.
Is it
So wait, how many things are actually dropping? Like, how much of your list
Just
is
a month.
not ambush? It's the
And the
2
chariots.
Cyclopses, the 2 Jabberwocks, and the 2 units of 3 chariots, right?
Yep.
It's not horrible. That's not horrible.
Nah. A lot of stuff was rocket batteries to shoot.
Yeah, so thinking about the matchup, he's got double rocket battery. You've got 4 monsters.
Are rocket batteries artillery?
Yes, they got changed artillery.
They are.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad news bears for you.
I'm hoping that pyramid's on my side.
Although
Yeah,
he's
it's
got a
not
lot
looking
of
too
steel
good for
models
me.
that have Aegises, which your Cyclops are pretty good at whacking too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's an 18 by 18 pyramid that everyone talks about, for good or for ill,
It's
that
the
shows up at this
pyramids.
tournament. The pyramid. This year, there's going to be the counter pyramid. There's going to be the Great Desert with essentially no terrain on it. So get ready for that, boys. There might be one hill.
Wow.
Do we
The
do
opposite.
primary and secondary? It's
Yeah,
blind
we can go.
deployment, right? for
This
our
is
first
this
one?
is blind deployment. Yeah, I will pull that up. We're going to roll for the map. Though.
Breakthrough, I
Oh,
believe.
breakthrough. For the other ones, I roll for the map each battle, and then primaries are chosen. For secondary, I've got these zoo cards that I've always used like a tertiary. I've been ahead of the curve. I always had 2 levels of objectives, and so I'm just transitioning my zoo cards that say things like kill the general or kill the biggest unit, get your monster to kill their monster, things like that. And those have morphed into the secondaries, which is ±1 point. Primary is ±2 points. So my zoo cards are worth less than they were in previous zoos, but I'm just trying to stick with the system they've put out and see how it works. Try it out.
So it's blind breakthrough for the first one though.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But Joe created all these.
really favors
I
Sean.
get the Vanguard.
Yeah, Sean definitely has an advantage as far as winning the primary objective. But
Yeah,
okay,
Those
so
2 block horns are good.
10-10. We'll shake on it now.
If I know a Sean, he loves him at 12-8.
Oh yeah, that's my
So-
sweet place.
we know who Sean's rooting for, obviously. But at the end of each of these pairings, we are going to predict who is going to be the winner. I need one of you. I'm looking at Sean, maybe? I don't know. Anyone to record this for me, if you would please. Henry, who do you think's gonna win this?
Sean's gonna win this 12-8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Here, here.
I have to agree with you
It's-
just because of the primary objective. I mean,
It's also too early in the day for him to be deep enough to
Yes,
where he's
that's
gonna
very
stumble over and tell me he got a 0. If this was game 3, I'd be on like a 0-20, but it's gonna be a 12-8.
Alex, what do you think?
I got to go with Sean because of the primary, and it's just there's not a whole lot of shooting in Evans. He's got the 2 rocket batteries, so I wish he would have a little more light shooting to pin down these beasts.
Obviously, we know who Sean's picking. Derek, who do you think?
I'm picking the rocket batteries.
I think you've got answers for the rocket batteries actually. With your Ungor Raiders can probably tie it up for a long time, and he doesn't have good ways of stopping that. I don't think. However, that bull is a problem. That guy will drink your milkshake. I'm gonna go 10-10. I think that you are gonna win the secondary objective, but I think he's gonna get you on points by a bit.
What?
So he'll
I
be
don't
the
know.
true winner.
I don't know if we can allow a prediction of 10-10.
Oh,
I think you have
Fine.
to pick a winner.
I'll go 11-9 ID.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So
Outlier.
one vote for Evan. Evan, you hear that? Derek's on your side.
That D3 wounds nonsense trick on that bull rider is mean. He's gonna eat your monsters.
How do I go back? My tourney pairings. Why can I not go to pairings? Players? Pairings? Why can I not go to pairings?
Sorry, Sean.
Oh,
Oh, there we
I'm
go.
familiar with rocket batteries.
All right. Pairing number 2. Henry on the call. And then Ben. Which Ben is this?
This is
Beal.
Oregon Ben.
Oh, Ben Beal.
Beninator.
Ben.
The lizard.
Staying at my house.
Ben's a good guy. Ben's a good. Henry, would you like to go over your list? I got a sneak
Yeah.
preview of this, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so this list is just copy and paste. Goblin General on a spider with a great weapon. 5 Mad Gits, 18 Goblin Cav on spider, spinner speed. 36 Goblin Spears with poison spears, sheltering standard because it's broken. 34 Goblin Bows, 2 Behemoths with impact hits, 3 Chariots, 2 Chariots, 2 Chariots, 13 Scouting Neophytes, 2 Get Launchers, and a Splatter. No magic,
Ugh.
no need, no BSB,
Ugh.
no need, no fun, no need.
Wow.
Yep.
How did
The
you?
list is built around a gimmick, but it's
How
a
did
very
you-
abusive gimmick.
How did you build a dwarf list in an Orc and Goblin list? I don't understand how you did that.
It's like a throwback 8th edition list when you had all these goblins with war machines, and so I play like the Steve's list like this too, and so they line up along the back. It really takes me back.
Did we go over
they-
just how mean that like neophyte and get mechanic actually can be? Should
Yeah,
we throw that out of the bag right here online for everybody to
Kenyon,
see?
I don't know if you know, but they changed the scout mechanic. So now it's just 12 inches away from opponent's deployment zone. So you just scout the neophytes and release the gits 3 inches away.
Oh,
So 9 inches away from an enemy unit. If they're going first, you can march them 8 and then pretty much drop them an inch away.
that's nice.
That'll slow you
Yeah.
down.
Very
and
pleasant.
magic is really bad currently, and artillery is very pushed. So just completely cut out a magic phase for a really abusive shooting phase. Yeah,
And a big old spider.
In a big old
Sounds like a
spider.
great
yeah.
way to make
I needed to get my zoo points somehow, so we have a big old spider.
So what does you mentioned sheltering standard is broken? What does it do? I don't even know what it does.
Against EP3
Yours
or
up.
lower, you always get a 6-up at least.
On
Okay.
huge
So-
blocks of cheap troops, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So on goblins and skeletons and garbage, it makes you kind of like demons.
Okay,
Pretty close.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at Ben's list. What is Ben bringing? Let's see here. Saurian Ancients, love to see it. We got an Alpha with a Halberd Eldritch Inscriptions. We got an Anuarch on Divination. We've got 6 Cayman. We've got 15 Tegu. 2x12 Skink Hunters. 6 Ramphadon Riders, which is they're a great unit right now. 8 Raptor Riders, 3 Weapon Beasts that are Spearbacks, and a good old Titanopod.
I didn't know you could make the Alpha Carnosaur a wizard. That's interesting.
Mhm.
All the characters now
He
you
could
can
have
make
been.
them
Right.
a level 1 an apprentice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Turns out Magic Dying makes it really cheap to go to trade school. So
But doesn't get a channel.
openings for this
So,
semester. So
I'm definitely
A hedge
sensing
wizard on a Rex.
I'm sensing a pattern here. There's no BSB in this list either.
Panic is so hard to suffer from now.
Yeah, because there's
Like
no more
the-
fleeing from panic. You just stand there. You lose
There
a
are very
turn,
few
basically.
things taking casualties, like shooting or something, that causes panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much just terror and shooting. No more within 6 inches.
And break checks, obviously.
and with how kind of brutal combat is, you either break or you die, or you win or you die. There's
Yeah,
not
you-
really
yeah.
a second chance. So
And voluntary fleeing doesn't cause panic either.
Which seems pretty good for gobos.
Hmm
Damn goblins. Okay, so we have heavy shooting and counterpunch from the goblins onto a big bad Carnosaur, some magic, and I guess some punchy stuff, but like nothing.
A lot of magic, actually. Like between
Yeah.
all those conclaves and that toad, I believe channels 4 by its lonesome.
No,
That is some kind of magic phase.
the Cayman in core and the Tego in core don't channel.
So how many like proper conclaves does he have? 2?
just
And neither does
no
the
conclaves.
neither the veteran doesn't channel either, so it's just to Anuarch. He channels 1.
Channel 4.
Oh, and he has Veil Mastery, so he
Talk is a
channels.
master, so he channels 2. Plus he's got
Master
the
channel 2.
whatchamacallit Veil, which is another 2.
So it's
and-
4 just from the Anuarch, yeah.
And he's got Inescapable Doom, which is the one that you take a wound every turn.
I love that. I love that spell.
I think it's pretty cool. I like that a lot. There's a lot of problems with Magic Phase, but that one is pretty fun.
I've never
Um,
seen it asked before, but it sounds delicious.
I mean, assuming he's going to lead with that, Henry, and you're going to be like, all right. So you've got a couple of targets there.
That and the Fate's Judgment is actually really, really good against Henry as well, because none of your shit has got good armor saves, right? Like your big Gribblies only have a 6-up, I think, right? The Guardian Behemoth.
Behemoths just have a 6-up.
You'll have to choose between those 2 spells, either marked for Doom or Judgment.
If he's casting spells, he's in range. That's fine.
Raptor Riders are amazing. They're dirt cheap.
They are still pretty. They got more expensive recently. Like I think just last week, they got a price hike, but they're still a deal.
All right. Should we go with the predictions?
Yeah. Let's start from the one. Derek, who do you pick on here?
Yeah, despite all that fluffery that I just threw out there, I'm going with Henry. I'm gonna say 14 for Henry.
14 for Henry. Sean, who do you got?
I gotta go. He just doesn't have anything to absorb all those gets, and the Titan pod can't jump on every single one of them. So I gotta go with
Okay.
OnG, but I think it's gonna be really close because he can push the secondary.
True. Alex, who do you got?
I think I agree with Sean that you can't. The Mad Get bomb is going to be brutal in the low body count. but also think that Henry's going to struggle getting into that deployment zone with his rabble. I'm going to go with Henry's minor victory.
A lot
Henry?
of those rabble are poisonous, though.
Yeah. You don't want to put the Titanopod into them, honestly, though. It'll grind them out.
And now spears do have AP3 versus Swift Stride, which most of his Gribblies are.
I think they fixed spears really good in the last update.
Oh, I like spears now. Yeah, they're definitely worth it.
Good job.
Henry, are you voting for yourself is the question.
I'm not going to do a prediction on my own game, but I think Ben's list will do well in the zoo as a whole.
Yeah, it's true.
His list is written very much as zoo in mind.
It's a very compact, tip of the spear type list, but it's just not enough bodies here.
Also, I just get to lock into one of the best games of the weekend right away. Like Ben is so much fun.
Yeah.
Ben is the
rules.
The joy.
No, actually, this is a loss for you, Henry, because you don't get to experience the shining light that's been on round 4. You have to have it's gonna
when you
downhill
really need
for the rest of the tournament.
Yep. Hey man, I'm gonna have a nice sober evening in my own bed, so round 4 is gonna be easy. So
Hey, I'm going with my prediction. I'm calling it for the Soaring Ancients. I'm going with Ben. Ben, you can do it.
It's a homer.
Why has it not let me click the pairings afterwards?
I just go back. I'm going back, and it gets there. Just hit the back button a couple times.
Well, there's no back button on this thing. Hold on.
You use it, man.
I'm on a web browser. I mean, I'm not web browser. I'm on the actual app, like the desktop app.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm in Chrome.
All right, Derek versus Cary.
Wait, I got
Dun.
the ringer?
Dun dun.
You got the ringer.
You're the ringer.
Terry
now.
is also a delight to play, so I can't complain.
Derek, tell me about your
Spoiler
list.
alert,
Tell me
Cary.
about your list.
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I?
Yes.
So I was posting about this online for a while as to how best to bring VC to slay monsters. For a while, I was playing three vampires with Monster Hunter. They were going to eat all the monsters on the board themselves. But then I realized that that crypt horrors are pretty darn good at eating monsters just naturally. So I decided to take 2 big blocks of them, and they score now. So why the hell not? So the core or the backbone of the army is a huge old block of skellies, because those are for some reason good now, and 2 big blocks of cryptors with a bunch of mean support. That's also pretty good at eating monsters.
So,
I mean-
Derek, question for you. You got double gas stars, double giant bat swarms. You realize these are all your friends, right?
All my friends.
Yeah. What are you doing to your friends with this list? 56
Well,
skeletons?
Should
Jeez.
we mention the alternative list that I posted to the forums, which had 60 Empire Rangers?
Jesus Christ.
I actually took this as the mercy choice.
This is mean. This is mean, man. This is mean. Bat swarms.
He's just trying out
It
for
eats,
min-max.
it eats all of your big Gribblies. It eats them up.
So you got
And gives
beat
them
up by
0 points.
Ben
So-
skeletons, hand weapon shield skeletons so many times. You decided, I need my own hand weapon shield.
No,
skeleton.
so these guys actually they got spears, because spears are actually worth taking now. But they get
Okay.
parry from the general there, who has an item that gives their unit parry.
Of course.
Parry, I think, is overpowered in the current game system. Like, getting it in the flanks and the rears, that's a bridge too far, in my opinion. But
Interesting.
anyway, yeah, it meanders forward and it grinds
Grindy.
until it eats you.
Okay. Let's
Yeah, it's
look
a
at what
grindy
Perry's
one.
bringing. Ogre Cons. Shaman Master on Shamanism. Mammoth Hunter on a rock. Ogre Great Con. General, Battle Line Hero, Death Cheater, Iron Fist, Heart Ripper, Spine Splitter. Whew. 8 Bruisers, 9 Tribesmen, 4 Tusker Cab, 3x3 Saber-Toothed Tigers, yes sir, 1 Kin Eater, and 1 Mercenary Giant with an Iron Fist. Big brother.
Who loves Kitty? Do you love Kitty?
So 3x3 Saber-Tooth.
I like those units. I think you have to
Single
take at
cats
least
are-
2 or 3 now.
Single cats are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are our minimum size units.
Oh,
Three's
they're
the
minimum.
minimum size
Three's the
now.
min now. Okay, that makes sense.
It's
Are
not
they-
some
are they light
secret
troops?
filth. It's just they're not light troops.
Oh, well, those are much less useful than they used to be.
Yes, they are.
I wonder
Hunter-
if Cary knows that. Cary, were you aware?
So Cary knows nothing. I talked Cary into coming because he's an awesome guy and he's a beautiful painting.
Wow, Carrie's awesome.
And this is the ringer list. So guaranteed, we don't. I mean, Derek, you have a 10 at a minimum on this list, no matter how bad Cary beats the crap out of you, because Cary's playing the ringer, and your job is to teach Cary the ways of the Ninth Age. So he's never played one game.
Time to stress
Spoiler.
test the skeleton star.
Oof.
Yeah.
The skeleton
Um,
star is.
I mean, the skeleton star. It's the skeleton star. I mean,
Yeah, why didn't you bring in zombies, man? 200 zombies.
Cary, yeah, you can do that now. They cap at 80, I believe.
Yeah.
I think even in a non-ringer game, I've always liked VC into ogres, and especially gas into ogres.
Gas into ogres is pretty darn good.
yeah. I was saying even if Cary's inexperienced with 3.0 and he's the ringer, I think this is still just a horrible-ist matchup.
And gas love eating rocks too. They're yeah.
Do Varks count towards zoo points? Like,
They
are
do.
they considered big enough to be zoo?
They're big things. Big enough
Okay.
thing.
They're big enough. Okay. Yeah, I think this is like ringer list and everything notwithstanding. I think on paper this is a 14. That can be pushed for something bigger. The question just is if blind deployment sets up for you to actually push for something to be bigger.
I think there are things that ogres can take that would give this army problems, but it requires like a pyromaster and the legacy con, things like that. He just didn't take the toys that are good against VC.
One thing to note, though, are vampire counts disciplined?
Only
I think
around
they-
the general.
I think
Right.
the count is courtiers or not.
Those are courtiers. Okay, so
Oh.
redirects might be a little off this
Yeah.
tournament because
Yeah,
now
Yeah, and actually, I didn't point to give my cryptors musicians either, so they're just on 4s.
I get musicians now too. All right, VC's too good.
Yeah, man. That's why I like half this tournament's VC.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so
All
it sounds
right.
like it's pretty unanimous towards
So
VC this
yeah,
round.
unanimous for Derek. Unanimous for Derek.
Yeah, Derek,
Blame
if you
me!
get below a
Because Derek-
10, Alex
be
has
clear,
it out
Derek-
for you.
Yeah, Derek is being mean. Be clear.
Yeah,
All
Derek, you
right.
have to buy everyone a
I am never mean, Alex Baggins.
This is going to be an
Nice
awesome game, though.
to be.
Cary and Derek are the loveliest people you'll ever meet, so it's going to be an awesome time. That's what it's all about.
I can run through Zach's list, Kenyon.
Okay, Zach versus Joel. What is Zach bringing?
So Zach's breaking with the min-max trend. He's playing Magic.
How dare
Shaman,
he.
Wizard Master on Thom. Mimic Cloak, so he's in second rank. Con BSB, also breaking with min-max. Liger's Tongue. Con General, Mammoth Head Cloak, Heart Ripper, Crossbow, Scrap Lord. So he goes with the Scrap Lance, which is a cool new thing for
Oh,
ogres.
that's cool. That is cool.
Mammoth Hunter on a pig. 13 tribesmen paired weapons with shelter and standard because it's broken. 51 scraplines with shield, Skull of Quignet. 6 Merc Vets, 6 Merc Vets, Frost Mammoth, and a Merc Giant with an Iron Fist.
So his whole army has parry.
No, the tribesmen do not.
Ooh.
They're paired weapons.
Oh.
Also
Cop
worth
out.
noting that those scraplings cause terror.
They
Yeah.
do cause terror.
What?
If
Which is
they-
which is
if
delicious.
that move for infantry unit charges you.
You're in deep trouble.
Yeah, you better be shaking.
But Merc Vets are so cheap now. They're so cheap for so much output.
And they're very good with a 3+ armor save. Those things mean business.
And parry, so much parry. This is the parriest ogres ever.
Even the
would
giant.
rather the shaman just bin a third unit of merc vets, but okay.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a good
the
look.
keywords
and
on that shaman are all amazing. That is the angriest priest I've ever seen in my life.
Keywords. God speaker. So that I believe God speaker makes him unstable. So he joins those 13 tribesmen, and they're undead tribesmen. So that's like the biggest armpit of all time.
Whoa.
13. Yeah, that's
a lot of wounds.
It's good. Plus, the shaman has got mimic cloak, means he stands behind. So you've got this huge block of wounds where you can't swing at the guys, making them unbreakable. And then
eventually the mercs bail you out.
Yeah, mercs are going to come in. So that is, Zach is cracking the code here. He's playing Find the Filth, and I think he's got there so far.
Ogres have some serious liabilities, though, like stone throwers. Oh my god! Like, and anything like a stone thrower, like Cyclopses, for example. Like, who is he playing against? I guess is my question.
Okay, so let's move on. Joel is bringing some Kingdom of Equitaine. Duke on a unicorn. Fortress of Faith, Divine Judgment, Percival's Panoply, Sainted Gallantry Honor, Paladin on a Hippogriff with Mortal Reminder, Sacred Chalice, Folk Hero, Destrier, Halberd, Lord's Arms, Mimic Cloak, Attached, Bannerman, blah, 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 blah. 12 Knights of the Realm, 9 Knights of the Realm, 9 Knights of the Court, 3 Sky Heralds, Siege Weapon, that's a Trebuchet, a Fey Knight, Warden of the Hooded Man, 5 Naiads, I don't see those very often, and two Friar's Lantern in 1 unit. Like not a single single Friar's Lanterns.
There's no single models anymore. Like single model units, pretty much.
Wow.
Unless you're a monster.
Weird.
I see that Joel did not take the risk of. There is currently 1 deployment zone in the new edition that a lance bigger than 12 knights cannot actually fit in. And I see he did not take that risk.
You can deploy lance as 4 wide.
It's a little skewed, you know?
No, they got rid of lance as being 4 wide.
It's only 3?
Yeah, it's gone.
3.
Yeah.
You just wheel it in, you know?
Yep, you just wheel it in.
When you reform, though, you can just pop like half your mobility away and just reform any direction. So he can always do that. But
yeah.
I like to move the rules. They're pretty clean.
There is one that you can't deploy a lance with that extra rank in.
Or 56 fucking skeletons. Sorry.
Yeah. I think this list is good. Like, it's kind of light on the siege weapons, but I imagine it takes Joel a firm month to paint a second one of his siege weapons.
Yeah.
So I know why
the one
we're not
trebuchet
on
he
the
had
second one.
control huge.
Yep.
That like a massive custom print order for his siege weapon. It's like half of this, half of that. It's like all kinds of crazy.
I honestly have no idea how this list is going to play. All I'm looking forward to is seeing Joel's army.
He painted up a real pretty job too. Apparently, he showed us its knee.
Yep, we got
It was scandalous.
free.
It was on a round
free
base
picks.
though.
Yeah.
How dare he a round base? Unacceptable.
Yeah, we get to the bottom of that.
Now, what he does have, I'll note, is a trebuchet, which I just checked. It is a 2x2 strength 6, 2 wound AP 3 thing, which is pretty darn good. That's going to kill 2 or 3 ogres with every hit of any variety of ogre.
Preferably marked.
You got Broadstone Thrower.
Does it still have the Aegis?
Oh, I think it is a cleric or whatever they're called now. I can check and see.
The lady
Because
loves
that's
siege weapons.
Pretty good against the Thom Master.
Yeah, any siege weapon of a Kingdom of Equitaine variety is now clergy.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's hard to get rid of. Also, all those knights are pretty good at making sure those ogres don't get their impact hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, three.
True.
He did a good job fitting in 3 blocks of knights into this new 4,000 points.
So are ogre crossbows AP 1 or 2 or 10?
Ooh. Last time I
Uh,
played Zach, he had like 6 ogre crossbows. How many does he have in this one?
I think they're
Like
2 or
6.
3. I think they're AP 2 or 3. I think they're 2 direct, if memory serves.
Like 5. I see like 5 ogre crossbows.
Those are pretty good at killing knights, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say Zach gets this 16-4.
Ooh.
Zach's
Whoa.
kind of, I think, NorCal's up and comer, and he's been like really proving it this last year. And out of kind of all of us, he's the one who's been getting games of 3.0.
That's true. That's true.
So I may make fun of him having a BSB and a magic phase, but some thought definitely went in that. I'm sure.
Fair enough. I think I have to go with Joel. I know Joel's a pretty damn good player, and I think just Joel's gonna have board control with this list versus the ogres. Yeah, I'm going with Joel. Alex?
I take Joel. I got rolled by Zach with the same list. He's really good at it, but he hasn't played KoE yet, and I think this charge range is going to make him make some interesting movement decisions. And that siege weapon is super painful. So as long as Joe cannot get into that 13 block of unstable nonsense, he'll be fine. Joel.
Sean?
The hard call, man. I think it's Joel.
You're out time.
He's
sorry.
less likely to get screwed by blind deployment. He can actually win the movement phase, and he can definitely win the secondary.
Yeah.
Spoken like a man who's never tried to wheel a 12 lance around a 18 by 18 inch pyramid.
You just reform and then move 9.
If he gets that barren battlefield, it's going to be glorious.
And he brought Strider banners, so he's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he thought ahead. Derek, what do you think?
I am also leaning Joel. I think it's going to be a 14-point win for the Bretts.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Oh, every time.
Maybe just have 2 tabs.
No, that'd be too
He's
easy.
not using the browser.
I'm not even using the browser. I'm using the desktop app.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Alan. Oh, wait, Alan's showing up. And Alan versus John, 2 classics of the Bay Area. Alan
It's
is
like every zoo.
I can run through Alan's list. Oh, man.
I
Alan's
recognize
list is
this
so
list.
familiar
This
looking.
looks very familiar.
So Goblin Demagogue, Goblin Gardens, Giant Slayer, and we gave him some protection for some reason. 6 Mad Gets, that's all the characters. 36 Goblin Rabble, Poison Spears, Bows, Banner of Discipline. 25 Goblin Rabble, Poison Spears, Banner of Discipline. 25 Rabble, Normal Spears, Banner of Discipline. 8 Reavers, not the fast cap version. 2 Behemoths with Ghost Step and Impact Hits. A Supplemental Giant showing up. 2 Goblin Chariots, 9 Orc Chariot. Double Git Launcher, double Skewer. 12 Neophytes, but they're the ambushing ones, and double Wrecking Team. Perfect. No Magic Phase, no BSB, no notes.
Wow.
I'm going to have to talk with him because the Temple Giants aren't allowed in the main list. They're only allowed in game 3.
He didn't take anything on it that was different, though. It's just a giant with a club.
Yeah, it's just a giant with a club, so I think you can just swap that out for regular giant.
It's just a regular giant.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Did Alan just beat you at your own game, Henry? I feel like this.
He has not
He
very
can't
many
do the
chariots.
scout delivery trick.
Yeah, he doesn't have the lock you into your deployment zone trick.
But he does have wrecking teams.
Yeah.
He does have to waste time with wrecking teams. That's true.
He's got 4 artillery. 4 is more than 3.
He only has 2. The skewers are just bolt
Skewers,
throwers.
yeah,
They don't
skewers
have
are not artillery. yeah.
exciting artillery rolls.
Well, I hope you guys get paired into each other eventually.
Oh god,
That
that
would
would
be
be so
the-
much fun.
That'd be the worst game
Con and I
ever.
would
That would be
have
the worst
so
game
much
ever.
fun. Do you know that Gits can't hit Gits?
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's just actually part of their rules that they can't hit each other.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's pod racing right there, baby.
Controlling gets with gets. That's amazing.
You're just doing the do-si-do. Square dancing through the battlefield.
All right. Let's see what John's bringing. Ogre Cons, Master Shamanism, Mimic Cloak, God Speaker, Great Khan General, Destiny's Call, Kagadai's Legacy, 11 Tribesmen, 2x3 Bruisers, 4 Tusker Cav, 2x8 Scrappening Trappers, 6 Merc Vets, a Frost Mammoth, and a Mercenary Giant.
You know,
Big Brother.
the sun rises, the sun sets, and John Lehman will take bruiser sticks. These are like some things that you can just kind of count on in your life as just definites.
I think they're still good as core.
It's kind of funny that somehow John's list hasn't changed since 2.0. He just lost the ESP.
He's been playing the Monster Hunter, whatever called the Wild Heart list for the last couple of years. So this is something he hasn't done in a long time, actually. But it is back to old school ogres. Interesting, the Tusker Cav can't take the Banner of the Great Sky anymore because of the point cap limits.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that makes it through the ogre review when they get to that list, because it really handicaps them a lot with they don't get the reroll ones nonsense on the Tusker Cav, either by design or by accident. He can't.
Well, they can still do it. Just they can't have a unit of 4. It has to be a unit of 3 that does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the changes to trappers?
Trappers are nasty.
Trapper
something
changes.
to
So
Next.
now it's not DTs. Now they just lay claymores, and if you go into a terrain feature that they're also into, the unit takes 2d6 strength 5 hits.
But it's only triggers, I thought, if you complete a charge against them. So they're dead.
Or go into the terrain
They get
feature.
one swing at that.
Or
It's
if
both.
That's way better than their swing, though. It's way
So if you charge them into terrain, you're taking 2 rounds of it.
What?
Yeah, if you go into terrain that they are already in, you'll take it. However, if you're in the terrain with them, you don't take it.
That sounds weird.
So if you start in the terrain with them, I learned this because
if you start in the
do
terrain.
not. Yeah, scouts do not have to respect scouts anymore. So the best way to deal with
At the
trappers
end
is
of the
just
move.
use your own scouts.
I think they're there to kill stone throwers, which is the big problem for ogres. So it's a good ad on his part.
So man, if they get that like 3-foot forest and they just hide in it, every time you move through that forest, if you end your
Yeah.
movement phase in that forest, you're getting claymored.
I think that's
They have throwing
a good move in this tournament. We've got big pieces of terrain. You can just trap one huge piece of terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
just
pretty
a
good at
good
shooting
point to
the
bring up that at the zoo, I do not hear to map packs or any of that stuff. I just pack all my terrain, which my wife complains about periodically. The entire garage is full of terrain in my house, and I bring it all out and pack these tables to make it look as awesome as possible. And so there's a lot of terrain on every table, except for the one.
I think this is sadly a bad matchup for John.
Putting it down.
All right, Henry, you're
Henry's doubling down with the goblins.
14-6 to Allen.
Oof. Alec, what do you say?
19-1, John.
Wow. Sean, what do you say?
If John tries to like get up in the goblins business, it's gonna go bad for him. So I think it's ONG, just because
Okay.
like he doesn't have enough things to sacrifice.
Derek, what are you thinking?
I think that John has answers for the gits. I think that the trappers are pretty good at shooting individual gits. Plus the magic phase. I'm gonna lean John. I think it's not gonna be a big win. I'm not going 19, but I'm gonna say 12 to John.
Yeah, I'm saying Alan. It's the OOG. It's a tough list. Tough list. Let's move.
John, you're actually writing it down, right?
Here we go. Ben Kerr. I haven't seen Ben Kerr on a tournament list in a very long time. Steven versus Steven Montalvo. Ooh, what is Ben taking? He's breaking VC.
He's doing the ultra.
Derek, you say this list because you know more about VC than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see it very well. Let me pull it up on my phone so I get everything correct here. But he is doing the double altars list, which I was thinking about myself. I'm glad that he's playtesting it and I'm not. But here we go, Ben Kerr. So he's got a vampire count, Strigoi, a monster hunter, a man after my own heart. But he's sticking him on a shrieking horror, which is ballsy as AF. Ballsy AF. So he's got an 875-point model flying around the table. He's got a Necromancer General, who's on Evocation Adept with the Mimic Cloak, so he's hiding behind fools. He's got 39 ghouls, which is interesting. I think it's the first VC list I've seen actually take a big old block of ghouls, old school style. He's also got a big old block, but not quite as big as usual, of Skellies with shields, the Sheldrake Standard, of course. 7 Ghasts, just on their lonesome, no character to join him. 2 Altars, and 2 Varklaks. So his army is also all about the grind, but it's all about keeping you in one place while the Altars do work, I think.
Do the Altars still do kind of something the same they did last time? They kind of pulse out and it gets worse and worse. At all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they've got a bubble 12 inches. Every enemy unit within 12 inches takes hits based on the turn number that it is. That's the strength. AP2. D6 hits for each altar.
It's an interesting list. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like it revolves. I think it revolves around those altars.
The altars also picked up a pretty good bounce spell. I think they do like the default occultism spell, I believe. The 4 strength 5 hits thing is a bounce spell.
I mean, they had pentagram before, so
the occultism is great, and I think it's a great for this list on that monster who will heal himself and give Aegis saves to people. There's just not enough scoring there. There's just 3 scoring. He's got 3 kind of movement constrained scoring units too. Gas are kind of fast, but
I mean,
for a hard time picking up points.
For Zoo, he has 5 additional scoring, right?
Yeah.
That is not a blanket rule for Zoo. It's only on 2 scenarios.
Yeah, but 2 out of 5 is.
It's still pretty good. It's still pretty helpful.
Pretty good, especially for Breakthrough being one of the other ones.
But it's not Breakthrough. It's not on Breakthrough.
No, that's what I'm saying is. So it's 2 out of 4 and Breakthrough. And Breakthrough's pretty easy for Ghasts.
I mean, the skeletons and the ghouls are marching 8 inches a turn because the Necromancer's the general. They'll get across the table in 3 rounds. Okay. Yeah. They can get there.
All right.
And we have Dance.
The real question is, does Steve have an answer? Steve is bringing ONG. Let's see here. A Shaman Master on Thaumaturgy on foot. A Warlord General on foot also with a bunch of stuff. A Brood Alpha BSB Light Troops Great Weapon Death Cheater. Interesting. Goblin Demagogue Captain attached. Light Troops Great Weapon. 3 Gogtuk Initiates. 38 Orc Veterans. 49 Goblin Rabble with Poison Spear and Shield. 8 Goblin Reavers. 32 Nashers. Yes! A Great Green Idol. A Giant Beloved Mascot. And a Splatter.
He took a big old unit of Nashers and didn't take the Nashergies?
No, yeah, he didn't take it.
That's a little disappointing.
I think Steve.
Do they need it?
Might have
need it.
Like an off-brand Orcs and Goblins book, because there seems to be a lot more orc units in this list than there should be in an orcs and goblins list. Like,
He took the mixed. Right? He didn't make anybody special.
I'm pretty sure my book doesn't even have an entry for orc shaman.
Doesn't exist.
No.
He just really wanted the
It's gonna look
thunderfire.
great.
The maulers are kind of neat. I like those.
Steve's army's gonna look great, and every model's gonna be old enough to drink. So
Yeah, that's a Steve trademark. But the thing is, all right, so the Ben's is really good at pinning down a few units and then just grinding them all to hell. Does Steve have enough number of units to countercharge the countercharge? You know what I mean?
So the biggest thing is Ben's list is triple terror causer, because the altars cause terror and the horror causes terror, which is a pretty aggressive zone. Also, both altars just kind of chip away at things like the Great Green Idol.
I do not
the
think.
over units.
I don't think he has what is necessary to take down that shrieking horror vampire mess either.
Yeah, I mean,
That
Thom
guy's-
might get there, right? Thom can always just spike, but
I guess he gets very lucky, sure.
and I don't think he has anything that can really handle 7 ghasts.
Yeah, they'll eat anything in that list, even the idol they'll rip through.
The scariest unit for them is the goblins, because they're poison +1 to wound.
Maybe the veteran orcs could do some damage to you actually, because they've got a buttload of strength force wings, and +1 to wound now actually have given advantage, or steadfast, whatever they call it now.
I would have picked Steve for a 20-0 if he hadn't taken a magic phase and a BSB, but he took both, so I'm gonna give a 15-5 to Ben.
Alex, what do you think?
I gotta go with Ben. I just think it's gonna be a hard time to really take out units. She's gonna have a hard time just like taking out collecting points off that list. It's gonna just walk right into his face. And there's not enough initiate maulers to do enough damage to not get healed back.
Sean? Unmute!
I think we're just gonna pass like ships at night. It's gonna be a 10-10.
You can't do
Seems
it
pretty
10-10.
cagey.
You have
For
to
a
pick
10-10.
one. You have to pick one.
Give 11 to somebody, Sean.
I'll give it to Steve. Let's see how this goes. Never doubt orcs, the Nashers.
I don't
Third
think
kind of
Steve has
orc.
the tools to take out the Screamer or the Bubble Chariots. I think I gotta give it to Ben. I'm gonna go with another 14.
What does Ben do about the Nashers though? Like 32 Nashers. No one really knows what it does. I've never seen anybody try that yet. It's like Steve's like, okay, we're gonna do this.
He throws the skeletons in front of it, and they kill a bunch of skeletons, but
They
takes
still
forever.
just sit there, yeah.
They kill all the skeletons.
No, they don't have paired weapons. They're hitting on 4s.
Mm-hmm. You would have
Yeah.
done 2s.
Yeah, he'll win combat every round, but it'll take forever to kill the skellies.
Okay. I'm going with Ben simply because I know Ben's a great player. And that seems like a really hard list to deal with. Yeah, we're going with Ben. Okay, we're moving on.
There's a couple of +1 to hits too from the magic phase that Henry hates. So the orc hereditary is going to really help him out there, I think.
Ghouls are pretty good at killing squigs too.
Okay,
Alright, Alex
we
should
have...
read Rick's list.
Yeah. Rick is bringing dwarves. Rick, really?
Oh, before you show
Yeah.
it, oh, Rick, bro, you need a hug, okay? Like somebody needs to give you a hug because this list, this flabbergasted me when I saw it. Like this is a scream, this is a plea for help. This is a cry for help, and we're here for you, bro. We're here for you.
From which side of the table?
See, I've just been helping Rick myself work on these kind of lists for the last 2 days.
This is some unresolved anger in this list.
So you're saying you got Henry and Derek sitting on a shoulder.
Yeah.
All
One
right.
loves 3.0 and one loves 3.0.
Let's see what he brought.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can go
King?
through it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, he's got he's trying to get back in the hobby with his getting back to the roots with the narrative part. I love that. So he's got King Morai Urson Throne is his general, and so he's got a king on the throne, and he's got 2 giant blocks of Deep Watch that are going to be usually steadfast because of their special rule and their bodyguard, so they're hard to get rid of. This is the angriest list. Rick wants to have people feel pain. He wants to people. He's like he's gonna shoot you, and he's gonna like not give you any combat. So he's basically forcing you to not fight him and get a 10-10 and take some light losses from shooting. So, he's got this king. He's going to go in the Deep Watch, which are going to be back to the old school leadership 10 rerollable. There's a BSB. It's going to go the other unit of Deep Watch, so that makes them the bodyguard and the +1 rank for steadfast purposes. I do like the big blocks of crossbows because he's going to have a hard time scoring with just those Deep Watch because no one's going to collect spoils tokens. No one's going to fight those things once they have to. But then, and they've got great weapons, so they can fight pretty well. So I like that a lot. And then just so much shooting. The rune-crafted organ guns and a couple of grudge busters are going to be being annoying and blasting you. So it's just going to be painful. I guarantee everyone that fights Rick is going to look at this list and go, sigh. Because it's going to be painful.
How he gave the king a handgun just to add insult to injury.
King is going to take his shots. Everyone gets their shots in. You're not going to fight the king. He's going to shoot at you. He's going to try to get some points out of you somehow. It's going to be hard.
Everything
to get
but
points.
The Deep Watch shoots.
So is this king is it like it was just the unkillable king? Like, don't try to fight the king.
I think it's unkillable and the D3-ish king. I think D3 woundish king.
They made it so you can't max out you can't max out runes anymore if you put him on the king on the throne. So he's more killable than he was before because you can't max him out. So he's got 2,000 rune of shielding. So he's got like a 2-up, 4-up. Is that what that is? Or 2-up, 5-up?
2-up.
That doesn't
4-up if you
mean
get
that
charged.
Josh should fight him.
Yeah.
6 wounds, 1-up, 4-up. He's totally killable. He's fine. Don't worry about it.
With 6 wounds, yeah, fine.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah,
He's
just
got
take
that thing on him. So.
totally easy.
You just got to charge him enough times.
He's got 50-something crossbows, all of them with great weapons. He's got 2 runed-up organ guns, which are perhaps the meanest artillery in the game. He's got 2 stubborn 10 blocks that are proper stubborn now, like old-school stubborn blocks. Rick.
So you know the
And the
thing,
grudge busters are really good now too.
And
the thing that's true perfection for this list though is it's a slight micro slip up. He's taken a BSB, which means at some point he wants to fight you. So like if there was no BSB in this list, I'd be like, this is a perfect list because it expresses exactly what's going to happen in this game. But Rick took a BSB, so at some point he's going to try to fight you.
Nah.
So there's some hope
guess,
at the end of the tunnel.
He took him for bodyguard.
No
there for the
BSB, a
mental
few more
warfare.
crossbows.
Yeah, he needs
Just
it
so
for
he
bodyguard.
can
And a
fight
Deep
him,
Watch.
you know he can't.
No, you don't need a BSB. BSBs are for people losing combats.
rerollable 10s, bro. Rerollable 10s.
BSBs are for losers. Get it on a shirt. That's the truth.
What is Ben bringing to
BSB.
answer this?
Ben
VC.
10.
Someone else read this.
Okay. The vampire count, general, Lamia, foot adept on occultism. She's got her hypnotic pennant trick, and vampire count, stormcaller, monstrous revenant, flying cowboy with hard target, and a 4-up, 4-up. a Barrow King who's just there to trigger Bodyguard, 60 Skeletons, Spear and Shield, Shelter and Standard because it's broken, 2 packs of 4 Bats, 16 Barrow Guard for Bodyguard on the Barrow King, 9 Spectral Hunters because they're great, 4 Vampire Knights, and 2 Varkalex. So big ol' parry brick of spears with a vampire in there, a cowboy, 2 units of bat chaff, a stubborn brick of barrow guard, and then a bunch of just fast, really hard hitting units.
Yeah, that Skelly block is even more hard to deal with than usual because you'll note that his vixen of a vampire has stubborn as well. She's got that unbreakable will nonsense, so your combat res is halved in terms of crumble.
Yeah. She goes nowhere.
Oh. And they have parry.
I once upon a time
Spears.
threw a giant and a block of longhorns in the flank, a block of longhorns in the rear, and a block of wild horns in the front of that unit, and took 3 rounds of combat to kill it.
Man, that's exactly how Lamia likes it.
Jesus. Oh boy. Okay, that's a tough nut to crack. I'll give you that. Can Rick's shooting crack that nut?
I don't think so, because Stormcaller kind
I
of
say
is
yes.
no.
So the thing is there's a pretty small win on the table for Rick if he wants it, which is just crossbows shoot off spectral hunters, vampire knights, and Rick calls it a day. This is really kind of, I think, as is the case with, I'm gonna guess, a lot of Rick's games, his opponent's game to lose. And it'll be Ben's choice on if he wants to lose this game or not.
I think Ben can push on this list and actually win. I think the Varkalax, I think you're right, the Spectral Hunters are toast because those organ guns are magical, first of all, plus all the regular shooting. I think he doesn't even commit either he uses those ethereals as complete chaff or just deploys them all the way back and never moves them. But everything else in that list, he's hitting on 6s with all that shooting. Yeah.
Except for the Varkalox. Oh no, Stormcaller's an aura, isn't it?
So,
but
so
it's only 12,
inch aura.
It's only 12 inches.
The Varkalax
Yeah.
might be out, but they can.
And-
I mean, he can shoot the organ guns at the Varkalax, so they'll be in his way in the flank.
Also, if the bro goes down, the shield goes
All
down,
over.
right?
True. I mean, he's a really hard bro to go down. He's got 5 wounds and he's being hit on 6s with a 3-up for it, plus heals.
Just 60 crossbows and 2 organ guns. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
and that's 10 hits first round with crossbow.
All right.
Right. So
So this is a tough call to make, gentlemen. This is a tough call to make. I am asking you to make the call. Who's going to win?
I'm saying Rick's gonna win.
I got Ben. Not a big win because he won't kill the Iron Breakers, but I think Ben's going to get a 12-point win.
Alex?
I am going.
Or Henry?
Oh.
Henry, go ahead. Just go ahead.
So if Ben plays this right, it's a 13-7. If he at all listens to Derek's advice, it's a 14-6 to Rick.
Ooh, them's fighting words. Alex, what do you say?
14-6, that's a big number. I'm gonna go Ben. And because Ben won the training day, he's pre-dialed in with this list. He's just got to tie up one of those deep watch with skeletons and sweep the leg and just roll right through everything else. There's no possible way that Rick could get primary on this. And I think he'll really struggle with the secondaries and the zoo objectives too. The Grudge Busters, he might be able to get a point out of that, but I think it's going to be about a 12-8 going to a 14-6 with the primary.
Ooh, I'm going Ben also. I think he's got he's got what he needs to do it. But all right. I think that is definitely the most controversial. That's the most controversial matchup we've gotten so far. Oops.
I'm going to declare it's going to be hard for anyone that plays Rick's list to win the tournament because he's going to just really hard to get points out of it.
Yeah, true.
Good. The fun, please.
Oh, look what we have here. Mr. Kenyon Duncan playing the Saurian Ancients versus Ryan Potter on
Kenyon
Undying
Duncan guy
Day.
used to be somebody. That's what I heard.
And then he faded away.
Just a beat somebody.
So Ryan, love you. Ryan's is a sweetheart because he's decided to play. He'll play either Old World or Ninth Age, depending on what my numbers are. So he's also vigorously trying to get flights. He had some family stuff he had to sort out today, and he's like busting his ass to get up here. We want to see you. He's going to stay on my couch. So I hope this happens. But he wanted to make sure that he's working hard to get up here and play. You got to play Kenyon, so how could you not do everything you can?
Ryan, please make it. We'll have a good time. I promise. I'll buy you a beer. We're gonna have a good time. Don't worry. It'll be worth. At least round one will be worth the trip for you, without any question.
It's his first Zoo, so he's gonna have a fantastic time.
Oh yeah. So what I brought: double Cayman Mentor Combat Legend, the big Cayman Mentor, a Skink Veteran with the magical bow, and a bounce spell. Block of 8 Cayman Warriors, 20 Hunters with Magnetic Torpos, 14 Hunters with Poison Javelin, 2x5 Cayman Elder Block, some Pterodons, and a Taurosaur with a big BSB on it.
What does Combat Legend do? That sounds epic.
You become a combat legend, obviously.
Yeah.
No, that's
everything you think it does.
It's what the big Cayman character did in last edition before 3.0. He's Weapon Master with Halberd, Tooth and Claw, and Great Weapon, and then each of those you get like bonuses if you use any of them. So with Tooth and Claw, you get additional 3 attacks. So he has 8 attacks, I think. With the Halberd, he has additional 2 attacks and he's distracting. With the Great Weapon, he's additional 2 attacks and he gets +1 to wound.
Oh, damn. He eats monsters.
Yeah, that was my thought process. Yeah, I brought 1 monster, which is the Taurosaur, 2 Feign Flight chaff pieces, 1 regular chaff piece, and then just 3 Cayman blocks.
A lot of Cayman.
Yeah, I went with
you have a surprising number of spells, too, for not having a proper wizard.
So I channel 4. I have 3 conclaves that channel, both Cayman Elder blocks and the Pterodon block, and then 1 spell out of the Cayman Warriors and Core, and 1 spell out of the Hunters and Core, and then both of the Cayman Mentors have 1 spell also. So there's a lot of spells there.
Yeah, there's like 9 or 10 spells.
Yeah.
This list is why I love a new edition change in the system, because it's such chaos between how divergent the lists are, and this is really a swing. And I love it. I think it's a really interesting theme list that wouldn't exist in 2.0.
I was, when I was thinking about lists for this tournament, I was completely lost, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go fluff. I'm just gonna go some sort of theme fun list, and I'm like, I want to go Cayman heavy, and this is what I came up with.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see what let's see what Ryan's bringing. Hierarch General, Divination Master, Book of the Dead Hierophant, Nomarch, Deathless Noble. I don't know what that is. Chariot, Sun's Embrace, Lance, Steed of Nephit Ra. 7 Chariots, 20 Warriors, 10 Cavalry, 6 Shabti with Halberds, 2x3 Cataphracts with Ambush, a Catapult, a Dread Sphinx, and Colossus.
Colossus, wow.
Colossus have 6 wounds now, by the way.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
I like this list a bunch. He's got the Ghost Step chariot unit that can march. They're going fast, and Ghost Step, so they don't care about terrain. They can march pretty far. They can march through things.
Colossus
the
may
monsters.
have 6 wounds, but how many attacks does a combat legend have again?
5, at least 7. At least 7.
Yeah. It's more than 6.
It's got like
baby.
6 and D3 grinds and thunderstorms.
Does Catapult have direct hit?
I don't think any of them have direct hit anymore.
Now they're just 2 wounds period for all
Yeah.
all hits.
Okay.
Everything's the whole.
That's gonna hurt Cayman quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it is.
That is.
You're not gonna like that.
Plus, always, right?
I'll look
It
it up.
doesn't hit as much as your average stone thrower would, but
Do the UD still have the always hit on 5+ rule?
I think
Yeah.
so.
So even if I hit him with the Swarm of Insects, it's still gonna be hitting on a 5+.
I don't think it matters. Yeah.
Weirdly, a stone thrower having always hit on a 5+ is actually a nerf.
It's
to what
worse.
a stone thrower is normally supposed to be hitting you on in this edition.
Yeah, there's no
They're
partials.
They're like 360 no scoping you from across the map at this point. Just
Let's see.
so a 5 up is a lot better than the 3 up,
Ooh.
which it normally should be.
So
Yeah,
they're
'cause-
actually aimed 4+,
They're aimed
Oh.
for it.
and it's not
'Cause they-
always hit, so it's just normal artillery.
Okay,
Oh,
that's good for them because they would have lost the +1 to hit large targets and steadfast units and things. So it would have been pretty bad. if they had
3x3,
been.
strength 4, flaming attacks, and panic checks caused by the weapon are at -1 courage.
Does it? It doesn't do 2 wounds.
No, it's just strength 4, AP1, 3x3, flaming.
Never mind. It's
Oh,
good
nice.
at killing skinks, but that's it.
So he's gonna kill your skinks real hard, you know.
Oh, all those skinks, I'm gonna really miss that. But it makes me feel good.
I know
think I'm
my
okay now.
prediction. I know my prediction.
What's your prediction?
You're going to get the exact same score that I'm going to get, and we're going to play round 2.
I don't want that because every time I play Henry in the middle of a tournament, he crushes me. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Big winner.
Alex, what do you say?
I'm gonna go Kenyon. I think both you guys. Well, Ryan's been playing a little bit, but you're gonna get Spin as fast and his girl super
wait.
fast.
And just point of clarity, all my cards on the table. I have not played a single game with 3.0 yet.
Yeah, this is your first experience. Blind deployment. Is you're gonna have a hard time keeping them out of your deployment zone, which will be annoying for you. But those Cayman are gonna go eat up all these units. I'm gonna go with the champion here, Kenyon. You beat me last time, so how could you be stopped?
I mean, Kenyon, it's pretty clear you haven't played 3.0. You have a magic phase and a BSB. What are you doing, man? Come on.
Now that I hear you guys talking, I still like the magic phase, but I realize I really don't need that BSB, do I?
To be fair, you just hear Henry talking, so I think he's the only one advocating that particular philosophy. But
I'm just gonna point out. I'm just gonna point
Henry
out
has
the chat.
goblins. He doesn't fight, and so he doesn't want a BSB. If you're gonna fight, you should have BSB.
I'm just gonna point out in the chat. Ben just said Kenyon is a K-maniac.
Maniac.
That's
Kamina
spicy.
Nominum.
Someone
Sean.
had to get a Josh pun in.
Sean, who you got? Sean?
Will and Kenyon.
Yes. Derek, you know the right answer.
I am also going Kenyon, but it's not going to be big. I'm going to say 12 points for Kenyon.
Yeah,
You hear that,
I don't
Ryan?
think it's a blowout.
You hear that, Ryan? The gauntlet has been thrown down. The panel has spoken. Okay. Enough with that.
Ben Beal, if I start playing slow at the end of our game, no, I'm just trying to figure out what Kenyon's score is to know if I need to go on the gas pedal or let off. Just...
All right, next up is Darrell Grigsby. What is this guy doing here? Versus James Starr.
Oh, match made in heaven.
Darrell on the ONG, bringing another Orc Shaman on the Grunter, master on Shamanism. Orc Warlord.
There's a lot of shaman at this tournament.
I think Henry should read this one out.
Yeah, go for it, Henry. I want to see your critiques also.
Okay, Orc Shaman on Grunter with a mistake upgrade of Wizard Master. Orc Warlord General on Grunter, Death Cheater, Attack Natcher, which is great. Brood Alpha, who's the BSB. That's a mistake. Brood Alpha, Captain Attached, Brood Out on Grunter. Brood Alpha, Captain Attached on Grunter Chariot. And another Brood Alpha who's just on foot, so they slowly lose their mounts. 15 Orc Marauders, Banner of Speed, that unit's great. 33 Orc Vets, paired weapons, Banner of Speed, great. 2 Iron Orc Chariots with Banner of Speed, that's gross.
You got
What?
red team on
You can't
everything.
do that. You can't do that. Really?
You can. 2 Giants Beloved Mascot and double Splatter.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's super fighty, super fast. It's
Shoots.
How many?
that Warcry turn is crazy.
Those
He
two.
wants to go fast.
Those 2 Iron Orc Chariots are a scoring unit.
No, because they have light troops.
Oh, so it's just the veteran Marauders and the veteran Orcs.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll be fine.
But there are
He doesn't
3
have to
chariots
score
in
if
that
he kills
unit.
all of your scoring stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there are
and the
3
Brood
chariots
Alpha on the
because-
chariot goes in the chariot unit, so it's just
Yep.
3 chariots.
That doesn't look like fun.
For you or for him?
Brutal.
Yeah, this is
and he can just sit there and shoot you with splatters for 6 turns and just zone you.
This is my favorite Darrell list of all times, actually. Of any edition, this is my favorite list he's ever put together.
Wow.
He
This is glorious.
finally,
This is glorious. The giant,
After-
the artillery, everything is there. It's got all the pieces.
after 3
He
years of
finally
playing
hit his
dwarves,
stride.
he finally picked up a war machine.
Yeah, he's so fast and zones so hard, and he didn't like. He tends to get locked into giant blocks of troops. He's got one big block, but everything else, man, it's just plays. It's just balls, brawls. This is a brawler list. Good.
Balls and brawls. Derek, what do you think?
I think it's delicious. Have you seen his opponent yet?
We have not.
Let's check it out.
James Starr on the first Empire Sanstall list, which is fun. Battlefield Wizard on a Great Griffin, Master Alchemy, Martial General with a bunch of stuff, Martial BSB with a bunch of stuff, Prelate on foot with Basalt Infusion, 20 crossbows, 20 handguns, 10 Electoral Cav, 15 Militia, 6 Sun Griffin Knights with the Stalker Standard, 26 Imperial Guard with the Stalker Standard, and with the great weapons on those Imperial Guard, and a cannon and a steam tank.
I think that's enough shooting to put pressure on the orcs.
Yeah. I mean,
I really, really like those dudes on the griffins too. The wizards on the griffins. Those guys are baller.
it's a master though. It's 600 points. Like if you face
It is a lot of
sh-
points.
Yeah.
Those chicken knights have problems with the splatterers though.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
So the Griffins are light troops, so the splatterers are -1 to hit them. Correct?
They got rid of that.
Not anymore.
They got rid of that.
They got rid of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, it's not a great. There's no direct hit anymore though, so just like 2 wounds.
It's just a straight up 2 wounds. Any hit you do on the 2 wounds.
check.
Strength 6, and there's no partial hit either.
Yeah.
I just like that James he's been bitching about humans for a good month now. Humans are terrible, they're worthless, and he's like, I'm gonna listen to you, I'm gonna fucking kill you with humans, all right? That's what I'm gonna do. So he's got rocked up with a bunch of regular bros with crossbows and handguns, and they're gonna get it done.
I'm a little disappointed he isn't playing the dragon. He was
I
playing
know.
the dragon
He played the dragon a lot, right? Didn't he?
recently. Yeah, even at Alex's place, I think he brought the dragon, didn't he, Alex?
We're playing so much old world, I'm very prejudiced against dragons. Kenyon knows.
So it comes down to, is the balls to the wall Darrell Grigsby ONG list gonna beat this kind of gun-liney, kind of not gun-liney Empire Sonstal list?
I'm going 18-2 Darrell. He's going to roll this list. Sorry, James. Good luck on your next battle.
Two cannons, basically. Some
18-2.
crossbow. 18-2 to who?
Darrell.
Sean, what do you think?
You're aligned.
I don't think it's going to be a complete roll, and I definitely think James. It's going to be James' game to figure out, but James definitely has a fighting chance because he's got some chaff to get in the way. He's got alchemy to help kill knights. Like he definitely has the means.
Griffin's going to do work too. That's true.
Yeah. So he's got just the hairs enough protection to stop him from just all shoving turn one and running him down.
Yeah, I'm going James. I'm going 13 points, James. I think he's got the chaff to gum up that line. He's not going to let Darrell just advance wherever he wants. And that is 40 accurate strength 4 shots a turn. On top of a cannon, on top of alchemy. Yeah, I'm going James.
Yeah, I think I got
By a turn, you mean one turn?
No, at least 2 turns with the chaff, if not 3 or 4.
I agree with Derek. I think James has a real shot here. That shooting is no joke, and he just doesn't. Besides the orc veterans, the 33 orc veterans, he just doesn't have the body count. Okay.
That unit of
Wizard Master
of
with
grunters
600 points of guns. That'd be all on Team James.
I do think this list just murders Rick's gun line by a large margin.
Yeah, that mage could have been 600 points of mortars and cannons and stuff. Yeah.
All right. Joe Frith versus Josh G. Josh, you still in the chat? Type something in there if you're still here. Joe is bringing Dwarven Holds. I can't. I hate dwarves, but I don't hate Joe for taking the dwarves because that's like his thing. He has got a king on a war throne with a bunch of stuff. A runic smith on foot with a lot of stuff. 25 graybeards, 10 clans marksmen, 2 times 10 clans marksmen, 2 times 25 deep watch. I feel like I've seen this before. 2 grudge busters, an anvil of power, and 10 forge wardens.
God damn it, Joe.
You know this is the exact 2.0 list because he has musicians on the guns.
They're going to be redirecting charges, okay, Sean?
You know
they
they
can,
will.
combat reform, perhaps.
Musicians don't help with that. You don't need any of that.
Combat reform, if you lose, yeah, they can then lose a little less next turn.
Dwarves don't lose.
Yeah.
Dwarves don't lose. Dwarves don't lose.
This is actually a great list. He has a really nasty magic phase and magic denial.
Yeah.
It's a really cheap, nasty magic phase because I think that runesmith is mostly about denying the opponent their magic phase.
You know
He's got
how
some
you
runes
can
too.
He invested in
around.
Anvil of Power, which is a lot of points. Well, 180
And he's got a rune
points.
smash.
It's cheap. It's cheap. Yeah.
You know how you can play around 500 points of magic denial?
No magic.
Not plain magic.
I think magic does a lot for dwarves. Actually, I think you can put a pretty good face go with all those bound spells.
I played
I think
against
the runesmiths have the +1 AP, which is you're kind of AP constrained in 3.0. So those are great for this list. Going into Deep Watch with advantage AP is a pretty nice setup.
The Runesmith rule is great. Just right.
He also has 2 cannonball attacks with rune smashing.
Hmm.
Okay.
We're mining, so it turns in a piece of terrain into open terrain, right?
effectively
Yeah,
open,
pretty
almost basically open. Yeah.
All right. Josh's list is going to be some kind of wizard master, 1 brick of warriors, 2 random monsters and some small middling units that pop around and do stuff.
Josh
Double
has
giants.
Oh my god, I'm
a
Well, you are
chosen
so
lord
wrong.
on Chimera. What? Mortal Gauntlets, Weirdstone Greed, Sorcerer, Master Evocation, Mimic Cloak, Spell Scroll, a Barb Chief General War Dice, Trophy Rack, Thrice Forged, blah, 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 Troll Tonic. Another Barb Chief on a War Dice with Trophy Rack, Gladiator Spirit, and Symbol of Slaughter. 37 Barbarians with Sword and Shield, Banner of Speed. 12 Warriors Gun Greed. 9 Warrior Knights, Lance on Greed. 5 Forsworn, Great Weapon, Damnation. And then 2 Giants, both with a club. One's a big brother.
I actually like this list.
Wow.
Pretty
This is-
good.
This
I
is
think-
a huge divergence from what he normally brings.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
huge
again,
blocks.
The good Divergent 3.0, just mixed up list. I like the Giants a lot with the spears because you can make them, the barbarians have
No,
ranks
they're
for so
both-
long advantage.
They're both clubs.
They're
Yeah,
both
they're
clubs,
going
so
up.
I wish they were spears. And I never liked Forsworn with Damnation because you're basically saying you're going to lose combat and lose your unit, and you're banking on losing a unit. So I'm never really high on them, but maybe I just don't know how to use them.
You got to use them like Josh.
I like the Chosen Lord. He like flies around and he's like a challenge beast, right? Because he
And he
turns
makes,
off enemy
like-
magic weapons, and then just beats you with his own.
Yeah,
it's
so the
No,
gauntlet.
he doesn't have Entropic Aura.
He doesn't have that.
What's
He got my flank last battle, gave me the what for, so he's high on that Chimera guy. Every time he
Don't make
says
them
Griffin, though,
unachievable.
yeah, he owes you a drink every time he says Griffin, though.
Look, we all know what's going to happen. Josh is going to fight the king, and can he kill the king?
That's a very good point that Josh got into a Dwarven Hold round 1 with a Super King.
I don't think you
What's-
can kill the king, Josh. I don't know, Josh. Maybe he can. I don't know. I don't think you can do it though.
That's the question.
I think
Can
that's
can
it.
this Chimera Lord kill that king?
No. No.
Josh can though. Anyone else in
True
Chimera
secret.
Lord would get their ass kicked, but Josh can do it.
True secret is, will they play into lunch? I think Josh can have this game mainly just off the back of blind deployment.
Dwarves don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's a
you're
good
right.
point.
They both seem bad at breakthrough though, right?
He's got knights.
Yeah, he's
I
got
mean,
those
yeah,
good
the
knights, yeah.
But those
40
knights have to do
barbarians
stuff.
with Jordans. Like, they'll just Nike their way into the deployment zone and then just sit there.
Yeah, I don't think they
You're
actually
right.
have to fight. They just have to move around.
They're gonna get stuck into some deep watch. Everybody is, and the knights can't just abandon the battle. There's so many points to go walking around trying to claim OBJ.
No, but Barbs can. Barbs serve
Yeah.
no purpose in this game besides
And
claiming
the-
OBJ.
The Deep Watch, they need to go claim the OBJ, so that kind of leaves the rest of it unprotected.
Mm.
I back my club member. Surprise, surprise.
I'll give it to Josh if he can resist the urge.
No,
And he should
he
only be
can't.
like a couple.
He can't
should
do it.
only be a
Cannot
couple
do this.
minutes,
He
so
cannot
I
do
think he
that.
can do it.
I have a question.
Hey, it's game
Henry.
one. He should be good. He should only be like 3-4 beers deep by the end of this game.
Is Josh getting into Davis? What time is Josh getting into Davis on Friday night?
He's already
Probably,
there,
like,
buddy. He's
9:15 sharp.
he
So-
started clubbing about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, Josh is going to be rickety wrecked on Saturday morning. I think this is all Joe. I'm gonna go 14 points for the Dwarves.
Yeah, I think I have to go Dwarves also. I'm sorry, Josh. The dwarf list is a rock,
Don't
and
apologize.
Josh is just gonna splash all over it.
I'm gonna go dwarves. This is a pretty new list for
Wando.
Josh, so I don't know if you're gonna be familiar with how to take out a dwarf king with this list you've got going here. And Joe's just gonna push up on you. I think Joe's list is great about fighting warriors, actually.
Can we just take a minute to appreciate that every list Josh writes, he makes sure that it can kill a Dwarven King, and every single time we're like, you don't need to build a list to do that.
And the one time he doesn't.
We finally get him off the
Can
edge.
you
And look
believe
what
that?
happened.
Can you
Well,
believe
you can blame
that?
Darrell for playing Dwarves of Dead Book and playing Orcs most of the time. Most of the Saturday crew is off of Dwarves, so
Good
Josh
for
is
them.
unprepared.
Good for them. It's like AA for dwarves.
There's three of them, right? Rick, Zach, and Darrell all play Dwarves on a semi-regular basis in 2.0, so they're off the wagon.
All right, last matchup. This is a big. This is
Tale
actually
as old as time.
this is a very big
This is
matchup.
epic.
This is an epic
This is
matchup.
epic.
So we have Micah on Dread Elves, and we have Vespasian Aaron on Warriors of the Dark Gods. This is craziness. This is craziness. Let's see what Micah is bringing. A Selection Officer
Right, Henry.
General. What do you say?
Henry's played this list about 5 times now. So what do you got, Henry?
So Selection Officer General with Super Dex, Ring of Obsidian Throne, Double Assassin. That's it. No magic phase. No BSB.
Ladies' night.
No
Ladies, they're all ladies.
25 Militants, Shelter and Standard because it's busted. 21 Militants, Banner of Discipline. 16 Crossbows with Flaming Standard. 23 Militants, Dancers of Yema with Shelter and
Ouch.
Standard. 3 Gorgons, 17 Judicators, an Altar, 9 Shadow Riders with repeater crossbows, a Kraken, and double Miss Leviathan. Clean, efficient, fast,
Killers.
no magic, no
The,
need.
the Judicators is interesting. I haven't seen somebody play those yet in the new rules.
They
Adjudicators.
really kind of shore up one of the problems militants have, which is just no AP.
AP, yeah.
And they take the altar buff really well as well.
What does
Leviathans
Ring
are
of
the
Obsidian
sidelines.
Hmm?
What did Ring of the Obsidian Thrones do?
It is reroll panic and break tests within 6 inches.
It's
Or
kind of a
minimize.
BSB.
It's kind of a BSB,
It's a
but
mini
you
BSB,
don't
yeah.
waste
Yeah.
Dread
a
Elf
slot on another character.
It's the ring.
All
Yeah.
right.
Those Leviathans are out to dry in this battle with no shitting.
I mean, they're still a 9-wound distracting monster that still has light troops and fly. Like,
Yeah, they're
Leviathans are
cheap.
gross.
They're chaff. They're thunder stomping chaff is what they are.
They're
They're
What's the
230.
name of the Razor Tusk
They're
area?
they're AP 3 or 4. Like, they're insane.
They're AP3. They're
Yeah,
very
they're
good
the
at killing warriors.
He
They're
said
the
9
best
wounds, like
monster in the game. 9 wounds.
8. 9 wounds, so like 30 points a wound.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they are the best monster in the game, and I don't think it's close.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. Let's see what
And
Aaron's
they have
bringing.
distracting randomly, like just completely randomly have distracting.
Mhm.
Why not?
Aaron, Double Exalted Herald, interesting. Barb Chief General, Thrice Forged Throwing Weapons, Giant Slayer, Talisman of the Void on foot. 39 Barbarians, Spear Shield. 15 Barbarians, Throwing Weapons, Icon of the Infinite. 15 Barbarians, Throwing Weapons, Icon of the Infinite. 2 times Marauding Giant Tribal War Spear. A Helmaw, Battle Shrine, 10 Flayers.
I love this list.
So Aaron is cosplaying as me, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
This is a lot of barbarians. I didn't know I was loaning him this many models, but all right. No,
That's a
this
unit
list,
filler. I'm getting good, strong unit filler vibes here.
This
what's
list
hard
is-
is the Big Brother Giants to do the unit fillers, you know.
This list is
He-
super good at killing dread elves. Like
Yeah, he's got the
sneaky,
worst
techy.
years.
He's at the he's got Aaron was talking to me about this list a couple days ago, and not to spill his tech, but he's got a bunch of teleporting throwing weapons at strength 4,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got teleporting breath weapons, 2 of them, strength 4 AP1 breath weapons on the Exalted Heralds. who are also light troops. Those things are going to be doing each on average like 10d6 strength 4 AP 1 hits throughout the game to pretty much whatever they want.
It seems 3.0 is a very good time to be a barbarian chief. You got put in charge of both warriors lists. There's like demon princes and chaos lords running around, and like the barb chief is like, no. I'm the boss. Like,
he's Conan,
Deeds
man.
not
worth.
Deeds not words.
Conan.
Deeds
It's
not words.
Conan the Barbarian.
not
He can do what
words.
he wants.
How does Giant Slayer work with battle focus? Do you roll a 6 and get 2 crush attacks?
No. I think it
No,
doesn't.
you just get an additional
Regular
hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Fury with poison. You don't get that additional poison. It's just an additional hit.
With the extra hit, the crush attack.
But you do get hatred
Um,
now for it. You do get hatred.
Why is 10 players better than 2 packs of 5 players?
Nice.
My guess is the additional 5 are probably free. Like,
Probably points, yeah.
I bet it's like 200 for 5, and the additional 5 are like 10 points of flair or some silliness.
Yeah.
Aaron's list has got the giants to kill other monsters, and he's got breath weapons and throwing weapons to kill things with not good armor saves. I think I'm ready to skip right to results. I'm pretty sure poor Micah is not going to know what hit him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give Aaron 3 points.
I mean, militants are just mow through barbarians. It's just like, this is disastrous.
Yeah.
He'll never touch them, though.
They will. Oh, he can't all go through the portals. He can only hide so many ends at once.
Also, he just puts a Mytholiathan on the portal, and the whole mod does nothing.
No, it's so hard to stop the portal now because you pick a point within 1.5 inches of the portal and then put your unit within 6 inches of that point. So it's a 15-inch diameter bubble that you're ambushing.
Oh, because it's ambush from that spot? Ew.
Yep.
Okay.
It's so hard.
Oh, that's
Putting
PS2.
things on the token is almost next to impossible to stop.
That is a big buff.
Doesn't sound fun.
A lot of hellfire is
well
painful
done.
for Micah.
All right. What are the results?
I'm going 15 points to the exalted heralds.
I think everyone's picking Aaron, right? Am I correct?
I'm going Micah because
Oh.
Micah is pretty aggressive, and I think Aaron gets a little less aggressive. This is a new list for him, so I think Micah can push him and start clutching points.
I'm 17-3 to Micah.
Whoa. Oh.
I've backed this horse for a very long time, like a decade of list reviews of backing the exact same horse, and I've walked away with more W's than L's. So yeah.
Oh, this is a hard choice for me. This is actually a very, very hard choice for me. I'm gonna go Aaron.
I'm going Dread Elves.
Okay, all right. I think this is the premier match to watch round one. I think this is gonna be the most interesting. If I was a fly on the wall, I would really want to watch. This is the game I'd want to watch.
Say if you were going to set up your live stream for us, you would do
If
it on this
I was
game?
to set up a live stream on Glory of Golden State Gaming, I might watch this game.
Yes.
That's a maybe. Maybe that's gonna happen. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But that's it. That's our final match there. The first thing I want to say is this. First off, I don't know if Aaron is recording his games or not. We haven't actually talked yet about it. He might be, he might not be. We might do battle reports, we might know battle reports. I'll photograph all of my games, but my games are not that entertaining. I'm going to put an invitation out to the panel and to anyone else playing in the tournament. If you photograph your game, as in taking a photo after every movement phase, a total of 12 photos per game, I invite you to do that and then come on the channel and do your battle report with me. I think we're getting a little stale looking at all of Aaron's games and then looking at all of my games. I want a little bit of new blood in here. So, if you want to jump on for a battle report,
for Josh, that'd be 6 photos, not 12 photos. You know?
True.
8
So that is
photos
an-
for my list.
That is an invitation to the panel and to everyone in the tournament. Come on the channel. Let's do some battle reports. I want some variety. Let's do it. Next point to make.
It's just 4 photos for Josh.
There's only 4 photos.
2 turns? 2 turn guard?
Do we
Sorry,
want to pick?
had
Do we
to
want to
get that.
pick overall winners?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay. Panel, take a moment, think about it, or some of you might not even need to think about it. Who is winning this entire tournament?
So
I got my pick.
I've got my pick.
Derek, go first.
I'm going with Aaron, and his teleporting exalteds. I love the Hellmaw mechanic, and I think the list is elegantly designed that can either fight you, and probably will often, like in a Sylvan Elf fashion, charging in on turn 5 or 6, after just grinding you through with a bunch of strength 4 range attacks.
That does sound nasty. Ugh. Okay, Henry, since you jumped in also, who are you picking?
The zoo is going to be won by a list that does not have a magic face. I don't know whose list that is, because there are a few options, but
I appreciate
is going to win the zoo.
I appreciate the sentiment. You have made it very clear that you like the no magic list in 3.0, but I am going to put the spurs to you. You have to pick one list that you think is going to win this tournament.
One list for them all.
I will be the other side to Derek's coin then, and I will just pick Micah.
Okay, I mean that's not a bad choice.
Micah's
With all those shooting armies, gun lines out there.
2-time defending zoo champ, or not currently defending, I don't think, but 2-time zoo champ.
Kerr won last year, Ben, with vampires.
Well, no. Ben Kurza has been a wash up.
Whoa!
Hey, he didn't take my round 1 zoo challenge. Even though that's a easy W for him.
So. Alex, what do you think?
Well, Aaron's got a great list. I just think he's going to have a hard time getting enough high-scoring games to take it overall. So I'm going to go with Zach, because I think he can get a lot of high-scoring wins to take it. And he's a great player. And as my last opportunity here, I just want to say it's awesome people fly so far. Kenyon, thank you for coming to my tournament, and lovely to see you. People come from Arizona, Ben down from Portland. Last year I had people from Canada. I mean, people fly in and travel so far because they support the community, and we all have a great time. So thank you guys that, and I'm going to go with Zach.
Sean?
I am in between Derek and Darrell.
Ooh. Well, shucks. Thank you.
Yeah. Derek's list will just, especially in the matchups we saw, I think he just doesn't care that much about the shooting, and he can just push through and grind through a lot of stuff.
Wait, so did you pick Derek or Darrell? Which one?
Why can't I do the D&D?
No, you got to pick one. You gotta
Dynamic
pick
No
one.
double
No,
D, Sean.
This is
no double
a
D.
Pathfinder. This is a
Make it
Pathfinder
decision.
stream, sir. This is Pathfinder that Kenyon's currently streaming on Twitch.
Yes.
Not
Thank you.
D&D.
Shout out to Binding Roll. Did you know Binding Roll, my Pathfinder live play on this channel, is a play off of Binding Scroll?
I did not.
I did not.
Go figure.
But
Anyway, Sean,
that's
which one do you want?
sometimes host of Glory of Golden State Gaming.
Sean, gotta pick one. Gotta pick
I'm going
one.
with Derek.
Derek.
Just because the mad gifts are going to ruin Darrell's day if he ever runs into that.
A chic.
You are right to worship me, mortals. Yes.
Jesus.
All right, Kenyon, you're the last man standing.
I'm very torn. I'm gonna pick one, but I'm very torn. My first thought, because one time and one time only of all these list reviews we've done, I picked Rick to win the whole thing. I forgot which tournament it was, and he won the whole thing, and it felt really good. And I've got faith in Rick, but then he goes and he plays Dwarven Holds.
Like the most dwarven of dwarven holds ever, too.
And I can't
we're in
do it.
Rick's kind of prequel arc right now.
Rick.
Like, I don't think he'll lose a game, but he might not win the thing.
And because of that,
Large.
Oh goodness gracious. I'm going to go Ben Kerr. I think he's hungry. He's ready for another tournament. He's a great player.
Double Ultra's got game.
And the double altar.
Not a bad choice.
So, that is the list review. I just noticed in the chat, someone, James Smith III said, great to see this size of event for 9th. Congrats on the organizers of the group carrying the 9th Age banner. 100% combat res to you all. Thank you, James. That's very kind.
I've missed James. I've met a Buckeye a few times. Great guy. So hopefully I'll see you again across the table, buddy.
But that's it. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you guys probably Saturday morning. I land at 11 p.m. in Sacramento, so I don't think I'm coming out to drink Friday night. But it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, last time we rocked with the venue for a while because it's a hotel. They don't care what we do. But it's generally the rally point. Sophia's Thai bar. It's just great Thai bar, packed full of excitement and energy. I think it's fun. So it's a couple great nights out in town and Davis here. So that's really the priority for all of us. But for me, especially, I'm not playing. I'm just drinking.
All right.
Yep.
Panel, thank you for joining me. Henry, Alex, Sean, Derek. You are men against men, men against men, men amongst men. But thank you for joining. We're going to have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Excited. I'm excited. Thanks, guys.
Hug kiss. See you soon.